Welcome to Agoracom Small Cap Breaking News, your daily go-to source for the best small cap headlines for over 65 million investors since 2007. We're digging into the small cap headlines today, the ones that really demand a closer look. You know, the kind of news that might signal some real opportunities if you're willing to do a bit more research. Let's jump right in.
Yeah, we've got some pretty compelling stuff today. We're focusing on those tangible results, the financials, the drill results, things that could actually drive these companies forward.
Okay, first up, let's talk mining. Breaking news. GoGold Resources posts strong Q2 2025 results, bolstering expansion plans in Mexico. They're on the TSX, symbol GGD. Let's get straight to the numbers. Revenue was $17.6 million.
Right, and that's just from their Parral tailings operation. Pretty impressive number, driven by selling, 555,511 silver equivalent ounces.
And what really jumps out is the comparison to last year.
Exactly. That $17.6 million is way up from $8.9 million in Q2 2024. That's a significant year-over-year increase. Really shows that operation is humming.
And the cash flow looks strong, too.
$5.1 million generated from operations in the quarter. And here's the interesting part for their plans. Cash reserves grew by $2 million, hitting $78.3 million at the end of March.
Okay, $78.3 million. But wasn't there a financing after that?
Yes, exactly. Subsequent financing pushed their cash position to roughly $135 million. That's a very healthy war chest.
And that cash is key for their Los Ricos projects.
Absolutely critical. That kind of money lets them really push forward on Los Ricos South, maybe even speed things up without immediately having to go back to the market for more funds.
Yeah.
Investors usually like hearing that, less dilution potential.
Got it. And production numbers?
They produced 555,479 silver equivalent ounces. That breaks down to about 210,000 ounces of silver and nearly 3,300 ounces of gold.
And efficiency, costs.
Getting better there too. They're all-in sustaining costs. The AISC dropped to $22.98 per silver equivalent ounce. That's a 5% improvement.
Lower costs are always good news.
Definitely. Improves margins, makes them more resilient if silver prices dip.
The CEO, Brad Lingill, summed it up. He said, Parral continued to generate significant cash flow, exceeding our spending at Los Ricos and corporate costs. And he emphasized, our strong financial position enables us to aggressively advance Los Ricos South while maintaining financial flexibility.
Right. So the bottom line for investors here.
Well, it seems like the compelling point is that their current operation, Parral, is throwing off enough cash to fund the growth at Los Ricos South.
Exactly. Internal funding. That means they can pursue that expansion aggressively without necessarily diluting current shareholders. That's often a very positive signal.
Okay, moving on. Let's shift to healthcare. Breaking news. CareRx strengthens financial foundation and eyes growth in seniors pharmacy market. Symbol CRRX on the TSX. Looks like a turnaround story.
It really does. Revenue came in at $89.6 million for Q1 2025. But the big headline, the really key thing, is they reported net income of $0.2 million. They're back in the black.
Wow, okay, because they lost money before, right?
Yeah, they did. A net loss of $500,000 in Q1 last year and a $2.2 million loss just the previous quarter. So yeah, quite a swing.
That's a definite positive trend. What about underlying profitability, EBITDA?
Also improving. Adjusted EBITDA climbed to $7.8 million, up from $7.4 million. And maybe more importantly, the adjusted EBITDA margin improved to 8.7%. That points towards, better operational efficiency.
And cash flow, similar to GoGold.
Strong cash from operations, too, $7.4 million this quarter. And they're actually doing things to make it happen. They mentioned consolidating their BC operations into a new facility. The idea is better service, lower costs.
So concrete steps towards efficiency.
Precisely. It shows they're actively working on the cost side and building a more scalable business.
Their CEO, Puneet Khanna, said something about this here. Through focused investments, the company has enhanced its ability for scalable, sustainable growth while maintaining cost discipline, resulting in improved margin performance and a stronger balance sheet.
That sums it up well. So for investors,
I guess the takeaway is this return to profit, the better margins, the good cash flow, it all positions them better for growth, especially in that growing seniors care market.
Right. And that decision by the Ontario Ministry of Health to pause funding reductions, that probably helps stabilize the outlook for them too. Adds a bit more certainty.
Okay, let's pivot back to mining, this time gold exploration in Africa. News from GoGold. GoGold delivers high-grade drill results at Enchi, strengthening growth prospects in Ghana's premier gold belt, trading on the TSX Venture, symbol NCAU. High-grade results always catch the eye.
They certainly do, and Nucor is calling these some of the best mineralized zones to date, from shallow drilling at their Boyne gold deposit. That's pretty strong language from the company.
Let's get specific. What were the intercepts?
Okay, some highlights here. Hole KBRC 3 feet at 2 hit 2.25 grams per ton gold over a really nice width, 56 meters. That included a richer zone, 3.83 grams per ton over 15 meters.
56 meters, that's quite wide.
It is. Then there's hole KBRC 344, 1.16 grams per ton over 72 meters, also very wide, with an internal section of 3.06 grams per ton over 10 meters.
72 meters. And near surface stuff, too.
Yep. Hole KBRC 355 hit 2.13 grams per ton over 29 meters near surface, and hole KBRC 353 returned 2.15 grams per ton over 24 meters, basically right from the surface.
Those widths are definitely compelling. What does that suggest?
Well, finding not just good grades, but also these wide zones is really important for the potential economics down the road. It can make a deposit much more attractive to mine. Plus, they mentioned drilling hit mineralization deeper, extending beyond the current resource. That suggests the whole thing could get bigger.
Right, expansion potential. The CEO, Luke Alexander, sounds pleased. He said, "These results are among the best intercepts we have seen at Boyne to date. And crucially, we continue to encounter wider zones of mineralization and higher grades, both critical for building a robust future mining operation."
Makes sense. So what's the message for investors watching NCW?
It looks like these results help confirm the gold is continuous, they support potentially upgrading the resource, maybe expanding it, and the grades seem to be better than the current average resource grade.
Yeah, all those factors point towards, real growth potential for the Enchi project. It ticks a lot of boxes for exploration success.
Okay, staying with gold, but closer to home now. Ontario. Breaking news. Dryden Gold unveils new high-grade discovery in Ontario's Gold Rock Camp. Symbol DRY on the TSX venture. Another high-grade story.
And this one sounds like a potentially major discovery. They're calling it a major new high-grade gold discovery in the hanging wall at their Elora gold system. That's exciting stuff.
Let's hear the number. What was the intercept?
Get ready for this one. Hole KW 25003 hit 301.67 grams per ton gold over 3.9 meters.
Whoa, 301 grams.
Yeah. And within that, there was a section grading 1,930 grams per ton gold over 0.6 meters. Just incredible grades.
Unbelievable. Those are spectacular numbers. And where was this relative to their known zones?
That's another key point. This new discovery is only about 80 meters away from their main Jubilee high-grade zone.
So potentially parallel structures nearby.
That's what it suggests. Finding another high-grade zone so close could really open things up. And they also mentioned getting solid results from Jubilee itself, like 4 grams per ton over about 3 meters.
The CEO, Trey Wasser, seems excited about the broader potential. He said, "We continue to make high-grade gold discoveries across our district-scale property." And specifically about this new zone, he mentioned it shows potential for hanging wall and footwall mineralized structures hosting significant gold mineralization, similar to other finds.
Right, so the investor angle here is really about the potential scale, isn't it?
Seems like it. This new discovery, plus the Jubilee results, hints that there could be multiple high-grade gold structures across their property.
Yeah, and in what they describe as a largely underexplored high-grade district. That combination suggests significant exploration upside, kind of a district play potential.
Okay, one more. Let's switch gears to fintech. News from Inverite. Inverite enhances lender flexibility and revenue potential with standalone microcheck solution. They trade on the CSE, symbol INVR. Sounds like a platform upgrade.
It does, and potentially a pretty strategic one. They're calling it a transformative upgrade to their microcheck platform. The key change is that microcheck, which helps assess borrower risk, can now work independently. It doesn't need traditional bank verification first anymore.
Okay, so what does that practically mean for the lenders who use it?
Well, it gives them more flexibility, basically. They can get those borrower insights earlier, maybe easier, without needing that instant bank verification or IBV step right away.
So faster decisions, more automation.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Increased efficiency through automation, maybe new ways for lenders to generate revenue too by using this tool more flexibly.
Inverite CEO Kareem Nanji highlighted that. He said, "By offering new revenue streams, increasing flexibility, and improving decision-making efficiency, we're not just enhancing our platform, we're empowering lenders to make smarter, more cost-effective decisions."
So the focus is clearly on making things better and more profitable for their lender clients. What should Inverite investors take away?
I think the takeaway is that this makes Inverates offering more adaptable, potentially more attractive to a wider range of lenders in the alternative lending space.
Right. It's a strategic move. By making their risk assessment tool more flexible and efficient, they could see increased adoption, which, could ultimately drive revenue growth for Invert itself.
So quite a mix of news today. We saw GoGold with strong financials funding growth, CareRx turning profitable, Nucor and Dryden hitting some really impressive gold grades, and Inverite making a smart tech move.
Yeah, good cross-section. Each story highlights companies hitting milestones, creating potential catalysts. Definitely warrants a deeper look from interested investors.
Absolutely. So we definitely encourage you to do your own homework on these companies. GoGold Resources, that's GGG on the TSX, CRRX, CRRX on the TSX, Nucor Gold, NCW on the Venture, Dryden Gold, DRY on the Venture, and Inverite, INVR on the CSE. Dig into those results.
And just a reminder, of course, this was a quick overview. It's not financial advice. Always do your own thorough due diligence before making any investment decisions.
Thanks for joining us for this breaking news deep dive. We'll catch you next time. But here's something to think about. We talked a lot about specific results today. Revenue jumps, drill intercepts, profitability turns. In this fast-moving small-cap world, what specific metric or type of news announcement do you find most telling? What really makes you stop and dig deeper? Something to consider.